So I'm going to jump right into it here. First of all, welcome all of you. In just a minute, I'm going to talk about some of the details of an upcoming opportunity and an invite really for you guys to come and do pretty much a one-on-one workshop with us in St. Thomas this coming November. I'm going to get into that in just a second. Before I get into that, I'm going to give just a couple quick updates because I've been really lazy on my YouTube channel, mainly because of all the international travel and just post-processing and videos and things that I have coming that I've been working on. So real quick, Paris. Just a huge thank you to my clients who I know are also going to probably see this. Thank you guys so much for inviting us out to Paris to shoot your wedding. It was absolutely phenomenal. Those of you that had followed that trip on Instagram, you have hopefully seen all of those stories. And if you haven't, you can go back and take a look at the highlight reel on my saved stories on Instagram. There's Paris, and then there's Paris number 2. A lot of behind the scenes video, a lot of exclusive content there that won't make its way to YouTube. So definitely awesome stuff. We had so much fun. What a team I had. We were there for 10 days. My main man, Alex. I had my good friend and model, Nidia, who we flew in from Miami. She was there for a whole trip. And the saint from heaven, Crystal, who flew from Las Vegas, Nevada, who I met during my Las Vegas workshop I did last November. She came out, she was there, she was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, girl. You rocked it. We had an amazing time, and it was just really great. Do know that those of you on YouTube that are watching this, there is going to be a full behind the scenes video that I'm piecing together here, which will show most of our trip, which is going to be a lot of fun. So that's coming here. You can look forward to that here in the coming probably week or two-ish, somewhere in there. Don't quote me on it. On the fitness front, some of you have been asking about that. The last time I did a live video, it was all about fitness. It was about a transformation that I have personally done. At that point, that was a couple months ago, that I had lost 30 pounds, down 30 pounds from 180. I'm 5'10 in height, and today I'm at 142. So I've basically lost 40 pounds, give or take. Yeah, so I've mission accomplished there on the fitness side of things. If you haven't seen that video, you can see it on my YouTube channel. There's also a PDF that I've sent probably 100 people who DM'd me asking for that in terms of what I'm doing, the recipes, the food that I eat. Thank you all, by the way, so much to the 100 of you that have reached out. That was I did not expect that, number one. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal, but apparently it was. And I'm so happy to have motivated a lot of you to kind of maybe do something similar in your own lives. And yeah, so that was really great. So far, so good. I'm on the same diet. I'm on the same regime. I've added a bit more running. That's the only difference that I've done in the last month and a half since I've last done a live video. I now run every day. Every other day I do about 5 miles, and then on the other off days, I do about 1.5 miles just around my house. I was using a Fitbit, by the way, a Fitbit watch when I had first started this transition, which I purchased in February. When I went to Paris, for whatever reason, the thing shit. It just cracked out completely. The battery, all this stuff. I went online, I started reading reviews. Turns out it's kind of like a common problem, so I scrapped the Fitbit. I got a new Garmin watch. It's the Forerunner 245. This thing is amazing. Much better. I tried the Galaxy Watch. I have a friend that has the Apple Watch. I tried that for 2 days just as a test. The Garmin watch is definitely king when it comes to the fitness tracking. Just a quick update there for those of you that have not seen some of those quick little story reviews that I do on some of this stuff. And that pertains to a lot of you on YouTube that aren't yet following me on Instagram. And you should, because I give a lot of little tidbits here and there along the way, both photo related and in other things. So that's pretty much it with the fitness. My main goal was to get a defined six-pack abs. I'm proud to say I'm pretty much there. There's a little tiny bit more work I need to do, which is where the running is really, I think, helping me get that last little bit. So that's it for fitness. BTS video for Paris, I've already mentioned. That's coming to some other videos that I'm going to be releasing as well on other very important topics that you're not expecting, which will be a lot of fun. I also want to announce that I hopefully here in the coming weeks will announce a new partnership with a major photo manufacturer. I'm not going to say who it is quite yet. It's someone that I've tried to get their attention for forever, it seems like. It's not Profoto, by the way, and it's not a lighting company. I will tell you that. But they're even bigger than that. So there's your clue. And hopefully that's going to be a nice relationship going forward. I'm very excited. There's going to be some videos coming out on my YouTube channel in regards to that. So stay tuned for that as well. And then last update before I get into the workshop, this will be a quick video, guys, is the B10 Plus. I made a video on my YouTube channel expressing initial thoughts and my opinions without using the light on YouTube, and I've had a whole bell curve of responses in regards to that video. I'm actually, I have a gentleman who's flying in from, I believe, Chicago to Miami on July 30th, and he has hired me to give him a private one-on-one workshop on off-camera lighting. So I'm very flattered. I'm very excited for that. That's going to be happening basically this next week on the 30th. And lo and behold, he has purchased the 2Light Profoto B10 Plus kit. And I'm going to be teaching him basically how to use this out in the field and give him all the Tiger Insider stuff that I can do to help him. I even have one of my past brides, or future brides, I should say, going to be coming out for a model. Very excited for this, very excited. So those of you that DM me that want to know if I do one-on-one workshops in private here in Miami, the answer is yes. You can send me DMs. I'll give you the pricing structure for that, as well as expectations and things like that. So I mention this, number one, to tell you that I'm doing that. Number two, I mention it because I will now have an opportunity to see and use the B10 Plus out in the field, so I can then either amend the video that I made on YouTube where I was not an advocate of going out and purchasing that light because I don't think it's necessary, especially if you already own a B10 such as myself, but I will at least have some in the field use with that light, so I'll be able to give you a very intelligent opinion after using it on the 30th, so you can look forward to that. I'll do story updates probably on that on Instagram as well, and then I may or may not do a video, it depends. But that's it. Okay, so let's jump right in here to the meat and potatoes of today's live video. St. Thomas. So I'm going to St. Thomas. So myself and my sister, we're flying to St. Thomas. We're clipping out an amazing wedding. I've alluded to it in a couple stories. I had one meeting with the wedding planner already. It's on a private luxury yacht. And when I tell you, this is going to be one of the sickest weddings I've ever been to, I am not joking. So this wedding is on a private luxury yacht. It's basically right outside the Ritz-Carlton in St. Thomas. It's going to be just a baller wedding from what I can tell. Beautiful clients, Barbie and Ken, the whole 9 yards. Super excited. This is on November, let me just double check here. I made the notes. This is on November 23rd is the wedding day. Okay, well, I'm obviously flying in a few days beforehand, doing a styled photo shoot with them, getting all that good stuff in before the wedding day. We're doing both photo and video, by the way, for these clients at this wedding, which is also really cool. So what I want to do is I want to delay my departure flight several days to enjoy, a little of the area, and then I want to invite 4 of you at the most to come to St. Thomas. Here is my idea and plan. Now, I have looked at some Airbnbs. I found some luxury ones that are really cool. They're not cheap, but what I would like to do is to get a really sick Airbnb and extend my trip. So basically, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, those 3 days, I want to have a whole house, 4 or 5 bedrooms in it, invite 4 of you to come down to St. Thomas and join me for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday for a really nice, intimate, private workshop, and we can cover lighting, we can cover portfolio stuff, we can cover the business and marketing side of photography, more classroom style in the house. That will be for like maybe a half day. Then we'll go out in the field. We'll have some bikini models. Tiger's going to come through for that. We'll go out on the beach. I want to work off-camera flash. I also want to work panel light as well, reflector lights. That's also very important. Combination of mixing the two together. Not all my work I use off-camera flash. A lot of stuff is either hard sun, it's reflectors and things like that. That's equally as important and a hell of a lot cheaper to get into. And it also has its advantages in other ways too, which I want to talk about. But I want to talk about the business side, the marketing stuff, the stuff that I do like behind the scenes, the stuff that I do with vendors, the stuff I do with hotels, the stuff I do to get traction, the things that I do, the way that I do it, the methodology that kind of goes into everything I do, that will be covered. And for the first time for me, I'm going to also cover post-processing of the images out on location. So that's really huge. So I'm going to teach you the ins and outs of what I do on the computer side of things. And to be honest with you, like, that really is probably more than 50% of the end result. Don't get me wrong, getting it right out in the field is always the goal, but being able to sit down, go over the results, and go over it one-on-one with you on the actual things that you shot. I'm going to walk you through the raw processing, because there's ways to raw process and there's ways that there's not. I'm going to teach you exactly how I do it on my side, right or wrong. I'm going to teach you the workflow that you should have in place, or at least I have in place, that I've been very successful with. Then we're going to take it a step further. We're going to get into Photoshop. I'm going to show you exactly how I manipulate the files, how I give it the final look, how I even invert lighting, how I really tweak and get a specific look to all of my work over the years. And I've really perfected this, and I'm very confident and I'm very proud that that would provide some really amazing value for you guys. So it's really going to be a packed 3 days. I'm super excited. The whole thing will be videoed, which is great because you guys can then watch it after the fact as well, which is really nice, especially the post-processing pieces. And just to have that one-on-one time, just to have the dinner and the drinks and to talk shop and to talk business and to be in that position really is invaluable. And that was very evident when we were out in Las Vegas. It's very evident when we were in Paris. All these trips that I go and do where we do this stuff, like they're just amazing, amazing. So to sweeten the deal, I have figured this out. So the price on this is going to be $750. So $750. That will include your Airbnb room in this place. So the only thing you have to add on to that is wherever you live, look for flights to St. Thomas. Airport code is STT, and see what you can come up with. Figure out your flight, add $750 to it, and there you go. That's the workshop. I need to know really soon. So that's another reason I'm making a live video, is I need to know like within the next 3 or 4 days who's going to be going to this. I know it's last minute. I know it's just before Thanksgiving. That's just how these things come up, and that's just how it goes. Now, I will give you a spoiler. If it doesn't work, it's too close to Thanksgiving, you can't get time off. Even one of my other assistants who I was going to have go with me to St. Thomas, he's having a hard time getting time off from work because it's so close to Thanksgiving. Look, you guys can come up with a million excuses as to why you can't. I'm going to challenge you to figure out ways to make it happen, because you're never going to forget it, and it's just going to be awesome. I can't even tell you. You just need to trust me, okay? But what I'm going to tell you, though, is this, is that for whatever reason, if you can't do it, a little spoiler, I am planning a ridiculous 2020 destination photography workshop / retreat. And it's going to be just as much about the location than anything else. I'm talking, this is going to make history. It's going to look absolutely amazing. Right now I'm still piecing together exactly where I want to do it. I'm down to 3 locations. I don't want to say anything yet because I don't want to jinx anything, because there are some logistics involved here. But it's going to be really, really awesome. So there will be other opportunities in 2020 for sure. So that's mainly it. Let me just check my my little notepad here and see if anything else I forgot. That's mainly it. If you're interested in this, the quickest, easiest, most effective way to get a hold of me is through DM on Instagram. Don't send emails through my website. I get so many of those, they just get deleted. And try not to comment too much on YouTube, because that can get flooded as well. So that's really it. Last thing here is just, those of you that don't follow me on Instagram, I have like a crap load of followers and subscribers on YouTube, and I have like 5 people that follow me on Instagram. so it feels in comparison. You're missing out, because Instagram is just so much easier for me to get content out, stories and things like that. And I'm not saying it to build numbers and accounts. I'm saying it because you'll get more value out of your time by following me on Instagram than you will on YouTube on the day-to-day, right? YouTube is where I'm kind of put like polished content and, events and trips and things like that. I just don't make videos for the sake of making videos. I'm not at that point yet where I'm just going to make a video every day or anything like that, because that's not my focus as of right now. It may be one day, I don't know. But as of now, if you want constant contact, Instagram is the way to go. And the other good thing about that is that many of you that DM me, I DM immediately right back. And those of you that have questions, you ask about gear, you ask about logistics, you ask about technical stuff, I respond. And not only do I respond, I oftentimes respond in private videos that I will upload and send you in DM with a very thorough response. And the handful / 100 of you where I've done that over the past, say, year, you're all very welcome, by the way. You all offer me money and gift cards and things for doing that, and there's no need for any of that, by the way. I'm happy to do it because it's easy for me to do and respond that way. Obviously, as I get bigger and things, I probably won't be able to do that forever, but for right now, that is definitely really great. So, all right. Let me just quickly take a look at some of these comments here. If there are any, I got a lot of waves. Yes, our Pro is coming. I hope it is. It's been long enough. I'm sure Canon is going to be releasing that soon. That will be nice. Apple Watch has never failed me. Here's the thing with Apple Watch. Apple Watch is really, really great. I've actually done more research on this, and I put more time and effort into this than you think. When it comes to the fitness trackers, what I have found, for the most part, the built-in heart rate sensors on these watches, they're all approximately the same in terms of onboard accuracy. Apple Watch is great. The battery will only last one day. The way I look at it is this. The Apple Watch is an amazing smartwatch that has pretty good fitness tracking abilities. If you want a hardcore thing that's really focused on fitness and tracking and just has a back-end app that is just phenomenal, I really think it's going to be hard to beat anything that Garmin currently makes in their watch lineup. And that's very reflective. They have watches that start at $200 and they have some that are $2,000. Depending upon what your budget is. The one I wear is on the lower end. This is $350, which is getting closer to that Apple Watch price point, and it's absolutely amazing. Definitely trust me in the sense that when I tell you I've used them all. I purchased the Samsung Galaxy Watch. I had it for 3 days, and after 2 runs with Bluetooth music, after 1 run with the Bluetooth music, which lasted about an hour, and then a 30-minute gym session, the battery was at about 30% on the new fitness on the Galaxy Watch Active, and on the normal Galaxy Watch, the calorie counts and the algorithms that it uses to calculate the calories that you consume within a day, as well as the heart rate accuracy on that watch, just was not at all what I would expect. So. But yeah, to each their own. They're all good stuff. If you have it, you love it. That's all that matters. Am I still using the EOS 7 during different parts of your weddings? The EOS 7. I think you mean the EOS R. It was probably a typo. The answer to that question is yes. The EOS R is still my primary camera. I have, since I got that camera last year and got rid of my 1DX, I have not looked back once. In fact, after I finish just a couple more video projects that I have, I'm completely done with the 1DX in its entirety. I am still using it for a couple, just as like a secondary B-roll camera for a couple projects that I have where I just need an extra camera to film, and it is pretty reliable for that. So other than that, it's done. And also to just quickly comment on the person that was excited about the new EOS R Pro that's coming out, I just have to say this. Like, I don't know anything more about it than you do. And obviously I'm a huge Canon fan. But I'm also a fan of anything that just works and is awesome. Like I like them all. Just know though is that I will not just upgrade for the sake of upgrading. And you may think that someone in my position, because I do this full time and all I do is weddings and I travel and all this stuff, that I'd always have the latest and greatest tech. That is true to a certain degree, but I will tell you that I love the EOS R so much that I really don't think that I'm just going to run out and grab whatever the Pro version of the camera is just because it came out and just because it exists. I think that in time, as my current EOS R either wears out or I have an issue with it or something like that happens, it gets stolen or lost or damaged or whatever, and then I'm forced to have to replace it, at that point is when I would probably consider whatever the new Pro version is going to be. But I got to be honest, guys, like, inside the wedding dynamic, and especially for all these model shoots and styled shoots that I do, there's nothing with the camera that I don't like. It's really great for everything that I do, so I have no intention of upgrading that camera. Let's see, anything else here? Just scrolling through. Lots of waves, lots of waves. Yeah, cool. So let me go back here to the bottom. Did you experience bugs with the EOS R? Sometimes it's not focusing. I have to shut it down and reopen. I have never experienced that bug with the EOS R. I have experienced a few bugs with the EOS R. Number one, I've experienced a bug where you'll be looking through the viewfinder and the focus point, for whatever reason, will just disappear. And I'll turn the camera and it's just gone. The camera works, I can still take the picture, and I guess it's just gonna focus on wherever it left off, but then I'll power cycle the camera, turn it back on, and then yeah, then the focus point will come. With that being said, I have also not done the firmware update that they finally released, I think like a month or two ago, or whenever it was they released it. I still have not done that firmware update, and the reason I didn't do the firmware update is because I was afraid to do it before any major events. The camera I've been using since last year, and I know, like I'm at a comfortable point with it where I do trust it. Like I've built the trust with the camera, and despite the fact of these little nuanced bugs and things, they're nothing that has prevented me from taking a photo. There's been no corrupted data written to the cards, so I kind of put up with it. And those things that happen, by the way, are like, I mean, once every 3 months, it'll do it at a random time and then it won't do it at all. So it's not like a common thing that really annoys me. It's just me just being understanding and patient with technology is how it goes. And I think that was addressed in that firmware update. Haven't done it yet. Now that I don't have any major weddings coming up for the next, well, I do. I'm in Toronto, so I won't be doing any updates until I get back from that wedding. So it'll be another month before I'm able to do a firmware update where I have a span of about a month where there's nothing critical on my plate, and then I can test it out. But other than that, that's it. Do we get any error 70s in the last updates? I haven't done the latest update, so I don't know about any error 70. But if I do, I'll make you a deal. If I do the update to the EOS R and I experience any ill effects, I will definitely make a YouTube video about it and talk about it because that is definitely important. So, and there could be other bugs with it. I have no idea. But regardless, even if there are bugs with it, I'd just be patient with it. I mean, there's bugs with a lot of other stuff too. So it's the way it is. It's the way it is, unfortunately. Probably because I'm using the Canon 7200 2.8 Mark I. It shouldn't make any difference. EF lenses should all work flawlessly on the R system. There shouldn't be any compatibility issues whatsoever with any of their adapters. So I use the Mark II, but still, I mean, oh, that does remind me. One other thing, I am selling some gear. If those of you that are watching this video long enough, I'm selling a Canon 50 EF 1.2 L. It's I think it's the latest version. It's in, I would say it is in lightly used condition. The front element glass is absolutely perfectly mint. It has never seen the light of day because the day I bought it, I screwed on a B&W filter on the front of it to protect it. So yeah, so I'm selling this lens. I'm selling it because I never use it. I'm always either 85, 16 to 35, or 70 to 200. The 50 was always my backup lens. A lot of portrait photographers love the 50 millimeter look. I'm just not one of them. So if you like 50 millimeters and you want like one of the best prime lenses I think ever made, this is one of them. It's for sale. Shoot me a DM and I will give you a very reasonable price on that piece of glass and ship it out to you. And you can trust that you're buying it from me, so it's legit. I'm also selling a Think Tank Logistics Manager bag, which is in, I would say, close to new condition. There's really no real scuffs on it. I can take photos of that for you as well. Selling a GL1 LED gun light. It's a gun light I purchased a couple years ago. It's amazing. It's really awesome. I have the barn door kit for it. I think I have some gels. I have 2 batteries, a charger for it. Really cool light. Again, I just have worked it out of my wedding workflow where I just don't use it, but a lot of people do. So if you want that, let me know and I can get that off to you as well. So that's about it there. All right, let me see if there's any last comments here before I terminate this video and then get this edited and then uploaded to YouTube so you guys can watch it with better audio. Anything else? Any other questions here? I'm waving to everybody. I know I didn't click the little wave button. You have to forgive me. The phone's actually like a mile away. It's like beyond my arm here. So I can fit it all in here in this aspect ratio. What else? What else we got? What else do you guys want to know? Hey, Travis, I'm in Burke, Turkey. Wow. Very cool. Well, hi to you. Thank you for tuning in from Turkey. There's Chris. What's up, buddy? Chris, I invited you to Toronto. You didn't want to go. No, I'm just kidding. What else we got? What else we got? I guess, yeah. I mean, those of you that are in the Toronto area, also shoot me a DM that want to do any type of a meetup, because we'll be up there in just a couple weeks, and I can give you the dates for that. Modeling light on the B10 really drains the battery. Yes, as it would on any light. I mean, that was the case with the B1X. It was the same situation. It tore through those lights. In fact, the B10s, I think, does even a much better job at that. I've used them for a solid hour with no problem, and I don't think that they're really designed for anything beyond that. And the beauty of the B10 is the fact that you can plug it into the wall and run it nonstop. So there you go, and you couldn't do that before, so that's really awesome. Lasted about an hour and 45 minutes. There you go. It's even better. So that's even better. I mean, I don't know how long it would have lasted. When I say it lasted an hour, I meant that I used it for an hour and I still had battery. We didn't deplete it after an hour. So yeah, that's probably pretty accurate. No, I hear you, Chris. I was just picking on you. Trust me. I know. I know. But you guys start saving your money, because let me tell you, 2020. That's it. Look, I'm looking at like Iceland. I'm looking at Indonesia. I'm looking at like Japan. Like, I'm looking at some sick locations, and I'm looking at it based on the Airbnbs. You see, I think that's the key. Is I want to find like these mansion luxury Airbnbs with like massive amounts of space, massive amounts of bedrooms, and then I just want to get like 4 or 5 core people that have a little bit of money, they can afford to go. Those will not be cheap trips. Those are going to be probably $1,500, $2,000 ish in there, plus your flight. So it's not going to be a cheap trip, but they're going to be like 10 days. They're going to be like in an amazing location, and I'm going to have a ridiculous agenda, like awesome models. I'm gonna get Crystal from Las Vegas out there with us again. Like, oh, trust me, guys, it's just gonna be so cool. So yeah, Iceland would be cool. You're absolutely right. Let me tell you, and I've been doing a ton of research on like the best time of year, like when to go, like all the different locations. Iceland is actually at the top of my list, so there's your spoiler. I am definitely looking at making that happen in 2020. It looks like the end of May, by the way, would be the best time to go to Iceland. May, June, things start to get expensive. That begins their high season over there. Questions here. Ever use a 2x3 strip box? Yep, they're really great. They're great in the studio or when you want to prevent spill of light. I've used them in a few shoots. I have one here now. I think I have the small. No, I have the 1x3 now. So the 2x3 just gives you a little bit more, obviously, a little bit more width there. I actually think the 1x3 is probably a more effective tool because it's that much thinner and you can really kind of shape the light a little bit more with that. Hey Travis, what lens do you use for fashion shoots? Is it the 16-35? Yeah, here's the thing with that. You know, and you're about to see, by the way, so my grid, I've got like 1 or 2 more styled photos I'm gonna post from the Paris wedding. Then I'm going to get into like the fashion photography I did with Nidia in Paris. That's going to be a lot of posts to come as well, so be prepared for that. And I'm going to be talking a lot about that. That's an excellent question. It's funny, you know, the 16-35, I do use that an awful lot, and specifically when I go on these trips. And the reason for that is because I really want to exploit the area as much as possible. So, for instance, with Paris, I mean, you know, here it's fairly obvious. You know, I mean, it's like you have the Eiffel Tower. And if we're close to the Eiffel Tower, you know, then using that 16-35 really brings that tower to life if you can get close enough to it. Obviously, if you're going to be further back, you can use compression to bring the tower in closer and all that good stuff. That's a whole nother conversation. But to answer your question, yeah, I like the 16-35. I like the fact that I can elongate my models. I'm a big leg guy just in general, so I emphasize that in a lot of my photography when I do my modeling photo shoots, and I have perfected the way to kind of like make that work with that lens to make those legs as long as possible in camera to minimize distortion. And then in Photoshop, I minimize some of that distortion as well, which is a nice little thing that I can teach inside of a workshop, because there is some negative to using a 16-35 in some situations, and you do need to be aware of that as well. But yeah, lately it's all 16-35, or I'm using my 85. Very rarely, I don't think, no, well, not once did I think about this, 10 days in Paris, not once did I pack my 70-200 for any of the days where we were walking around that city. It was just too big and heavy and clunky, and I just challenged myself and said, fuck it, don't use it, use the 85, make it work, or use the 16-35, and that's exactly what I did. Missed it, where's the next workshop? You didn't miss it, because I'm going to tell you right now, it's in St. Thomas, this November, 25th, 26th, price $750, okay? That's going to include your Airbnb, which is going to be a nice Airbnb. It's going to be like a 4 or 5 bedroom place. I need to book it soon though, so I need people to like let me know right out of the gate here if they're gonna do this. We're going to be covering off-camera flash, bikini models on the beach, posing, lighting, composition, business and marketing, classroom style inside the Airbnb, and then we're going to get into post-processing, raw processing, data workflow, and Photoshop manipulation, what I do and how I do it, what my kind of secret sauce is that I've done over the years here. Right or wrong, that's what it's going to be. How much of a deposit do I need? Let's do 50%. I think that's fair. I do the same with my wedding clients. So if you want to do it and you're serious and check flights, the airport code you want to check is STT, so Sierra Tango Tango. Check your airport, see what the flight's going to be, and then just add $750 to it for my cost and fee. And then again, that buys you, a portion of that goes to the Airbnb. So I'm not making a ton of money here, I assure you. St. Thomas might actually happen for me. It's received my B10s. Perfect. No, that's great. And this would be the perfect time to bring them, because you can bring them with you. They're small, they travel well. That's what I use, and we're going to be using all Profoto gear. In fact, there may be a little insider here. I may be able to get both Canon and Profoto to even send some gear for the workshop. Not sure yet. It's going to depend upon the attendees, so that could be a lot of fun too. The best of the best with off-camera lighting. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Those are the best lights, and I definitely know a thing or two about all this stuff. So I think it will be a ton of fun. Look, just like apart from like the technical thing side of it, it's just going to be a ton of fun just to be there, talk shop, and we can also do one-on-one portfolio reviews while we're there. We'll do it together in person. We'll go through your Instagram feed, we'll go through your website. I'm going to give you a lot of feedback and some advice, some things that you can take away and start doing, and we'll basically formulate an action plan if you want to make this more of a business. If you're a hobbyist and you just do it for fun, whatever, come, we'll shoot gorgeous models, and I'll teach you the ins and outs of everything, and if you're interested in the business side of it too, we'll be covering that. All right, what else we got? And we get to meet you, and you get to meet me. That's very true. You get to meet me, we get to hang out, which is a lot of fun. We get to have drinks. I'm a lot more fun after a couple of vodka tonics, by the way. I mean, you can probably get a lot more out of me that way. Oh man, no, I can't wait. It's going to really be cool. And we'll be filming the whole thing too, both for the YouTube channel and for you guys too. I think that was a lot of fun, and I think everybody that attended Las Vegas really enjoyed the video after the fact, almost as much as they did even being there in person, which was really cool. So, absolutely. Let's see, is paying off. Do shoots of you in St. Thomas? Yes, totally. Yeah, we will. Oh, I see what you're saying. Do a shoot of me in St. Thomas. It's funny. I'm approaching 6 months of the transfer of the physical fitness thing that I've been doing here. In the back of my head, I was like, oh, I got to find a photographer here to come do a photo shoot with me. There are some. I do want to do that and then post like a nice image on my Instagram and update my profile picture with my new look. That would be exciting. And I think that's sort of like the little carrot that's like, like on the end of the stick some days where I get out of bed and I'm like, oh man, I don't want to go to the gym. I'm like, yeah, but I get to have a photo shoot one day with another photographer, and that'd be really cool to do to show off. Trust me, never in the world did I ever think I'd ever have 6-pack abs. That was the furthest thing from my brain back in February when I was 180 pounds. So that's I got to do it. I got to get those shots, because who knows? We could all die tomorrow. Not to be graphic, but it's true. And that's why we got to take advantage and have fun, go on these trips, and live. And that's what this is really all about. That's why, like, guys, like, I'm not, I'm not doing this to get rich or make a lot of money. I'm not trying to get 20 people or 30 people. I'm not like a Jason Lanier, and I love him. Like, I mean, I'm not talking bad. I'm just saying that I'm not someone that's just trying to do like the educational thing for the sake of doing it, just purely for money. I love doing it. Like, I love it. Ask anybody in Vegas that I attended. Ask any of my team members in Paris. Like it's just that we're alive. And I think I've gotten DMs too. People are like, well, why don't you just do workshops in Miami? And it's like, yeah, I could. Obviously, I live here. Like, that would be the easiest logical thing to do. But the problem I have is it's in my head. Like, I just don't get that excited about Miami. And I think that a reason is because I do live here. It only makes sense. So I'm much more revved up and ramped up and excited and just on. Like, I'm just on when I'm away. When I'm on these trips, it's just so much more fun. And for you guys, unless you live in Florida and you just drive here with me, that's one thing. And if you are in that situation, send me a DM and we'll make it work. But for anybody else that's out of state, you have to fly here anyway. So in my mind, I'm like, well, don't fly here. Fly to a better place that I want to go to too, and then we can kind of meet and do it there. So that's what this is all about. Miami is an amazing city, right? It is. I'm not complaining. I'm very lucky to live here. Short of the hurricane scares we get, I've been here now since 2011 or 2008. Man, wow, almost 11 years here. It's coming. I can't believe it. Greece should be a workshop. Yeah, that was the other location. So I was looking at Iceland. I was looking at Indonesia, Japan, and Greece. Greece was the other area that I was looking at for a workshop because it's just phenomenal. It was phenomenal. Funny enough, I was watching an episode of The Bachelorette the other night, and they were in Greece, and I was like, ooh, this might be nice. All right, guys, so I'm going to start to wrap this up. I keep checking my watch because Instagram kicks me off after about 45 minutes here doing a live. I'm in London, so no workshops for me, but your videos are my workshops. Oh, well, thank you so much. I totally understand. Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much. Portugal, the fifth most peaceful country in the world. Very cool. And I don't know much about Portugal. I've never really done too much research on it, but I certainly will. I will definitely check that out. I think that'd be really awesome. It's hard too with like the workshops because I have to think that a majority of people that would probably go to anything that I would offer live in the United States. Let's just say, I mean, most of them would. Maybe I'm wrong on that, and I need to like look at that. But if that's the case, then I'm gonna base it based on like what's an awesome location, but that's not crazy expensive to fly to. Maybe Portugal is probably more affordable than some of these other places. Believe it or not, I was looking at the Iceland location, and from the U.S., and I looked at Las Vegas because I'm going to fly my girl Crystal out there to do hair and makeup. And obviously I'm in Miami. I also looked at New York. I looked at Los Angeles just to kind of like plot some points around the country. Like if we did it in say like the end of May-ish time frame around my birthday, the flights were like $600. So they weren't crazy. That was round trip, and in many cases those were direct flights or changing over in JFK, New York. Not too bad. That's not too bad. All right, guys, so enough rambling for now. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, I'm going to edit this video right now and sync it with the better audio. I'll upload it to my YouTube channel so you guys can also watch it there on the replay. And any other straggling questions or other information you need, please send me a DM. And again, if you're interested in St. Thomas, that's the immediate thing here I need to know. Send me a DM immediately. Max 4 people, that's it, because of the Airbnb. It's going to be great. I'll take care of you there, and it will be sick. Let's do it.